All right, without further ado, so I want to introduce Maxim. Maxim, why don't you come on up here? Maxim is the CTO for 7pace. They are the authors of Time Tracker. And we asked Maxim to come today because Time Tracker is one of the most successful extensions we've seen among those engaged accounts. Take Microsoft stuff aside, Coach Search is still very popular, in engaged accounts. But if you take the Microsoft stuff aside, Time Tracker is the #1 used extension for our engaged accounts. And I thought that is a really good opportunity to hear from these guys around what are some of their best practices, because obviously they've reached a level of success that we want everyone to reach in the marketplace, is that our engaged customers are using their product. And so, Maxim, I'll hand it over to you. And you can kind of introduce yourself further and walk these guys through it. So you can use that or not. You can just kind of.
I'll find out.
Okay, great.
So I'm from 7pace. We are developing time tracker for VSTS and TFS in my team. And as Joe mentioned, I'm here to do some insights how we develop and how we progress in marketplace of VSTS and TFS. I want to cover 3 topics today. Why we choose marketplace, how we develop time tracker, and how do we get information and get insights from our clients to make time tracker better. So we started time tracker as some private extension for ourselves, for our team 4 years ago. There was no integrations into TFS, and we used some undocumented ways to integrate into TFS. And the problem was that time that every time TFS get update, we crash either time tracker or TFS, or we crash both of them. And when Marketplace was introduced 2 years ago, we moved to the new architecture, and since then we have the same code base working in VSTS and in TFS, and it works since first introduction of extension model. It's TFS 2015 update 2, actually 2.1. And since then, we have the same code base. It works stable, and we don't have any troubles anymore. So every update of TFS works with our extension, and we just test it, and we see that it works. And that problem is gone. And when we started also, there was a problem that market was demanding this kind of time tracker solution for TFS. But the problem was that we were unknown company, and the people had a fear that they can install some third-party extension to their productive TFS, and they don't know where the data is. They don't know anything about us, and there is nothing what can point officially to us. And with Marketplace, we have entry point from VSTS that this is official way to get extension to your TFS or VSTS. And people relaxed with that, and they rely on that. And that gets that VSTS Marketplace growing faster than TFS since then. And that's basically the points why the Marketplace is great step ahead for us. And since, what do you see? Okay, yeah, and we have some insights we gathered since we started Time Tracker 4 years ago and 2 years ago with the extension model. And since this all the time, we use our own solution, and one of the greatest, this is all known sentence that we eat own dog food, and that helps us to see all the problems we can have within the team before we publicly release everything. And we use this information from our developers to improve some flaws or UX troubles or anything else. And we had a long running discussions also in our team. How often should we release? Today I heard that still some companies release 7 times a year. And we decided that we release every 2 weeks, both for VSTS and on-premise. And I think this is a great step for us that for VSTS, people don't see all the releases. They can follow them, but this is a developing product for them. And we do the same for on-prem, although we had some long-running discussions if it's good for on-prem to update a solution every 2 weeks. But we think, and we don't see any complaints so far, and we think this is a great approach that we release often, and every couple of weeks we deliver some new features or some issues fixed, and we can immediately tell our customers that please wait a couple of weeks and this feature is in a time tracker or bug is fixed. And also what is great opportunity which Microsoft provided us is that we have a strong contact to engineering team behind VSTS, and they provide us all the necessary technical help, and sometimes documentation is missing or there is no official way to get some data from VSTS, like I don't know if avatars can be grabbed from VSTS officially. So for example, this is we had a request to display avatars, and we found out that it is possible with some internal API. And also VSTS team suggested us that we move all the testing environments of our development and CI closer to release, and we moved to scale unit 0. This is arena of VSTS instances. They are getting update 1 or 2 weeks before all the majority of instances get update, and with this scale unit 0, we can see troubles or some issues which started to be rolling out, and we can immediately talk to engineers in Microsoft and prevent that this is rolling out to a wider range. And although we are located in scale unit 0, sometimes we miss some issues, and we made our system that we are ready to release a hotfix in the range of from a couple of minutes to a couple of hours, depending on what is affecting, what part of code is affecting. And this helps us a lot, and sometimes, sometimes VSTS gets some update which is breaking our system, and our support channels are flooded by tickets. And within a couple of hours, this hotfix is rolled out, and clients happy back. And also, we are using this contact to Microsoft team to get to enlarge API of VSTS. When we started 2 years ago, there were a lot of missing contribution points, and some APIs was missing, like we were not able to get colors of work items and etc. And we were talking to them, asking them to bring this functionality to VSTS and TFS, and sometimes in a couple of sprints, and sometimes maybe even faster. It depends on the feature, but they are already in VSTS, and we can use them. So this is some journey, technical with marketplace, what we have in time tracker. And the last point I want to cover is about how do we listen our customers, and how do we adapt our solution to the needs of the customers. First of all, when we started, we didn't think that we need any support on this kind of small extension, but quickly we understood that without a support channel and documentation, it's not possible to provide such a solution. We identified that there are a lot more environments out there which we cannot ever imagine, which we need to support. And we didn't have resources to test on every environment. And we tried to ask our customers, in any case of troubles, just contact us and we will get back with help. And it worked. At first, we get a lot of questions how to install on some specific environment, how to use basic authentication in TFS with time tracker, and etc. And running all this process helped us to eliminate majority of these issues, and our support is growing. We opened community for our customers that they can discuss some feature requests, bug reports, issue reports within this community. They can vote for new features, they can comment on them. And this is making our product adapting not only for our team, because we use it by ourselves, but we see that a lot of customers see some features we didn't even think about. And we run with these customers and we discuss these features and we plan them. And the nice what we have is that we identified some fans of our solution, and these guys are providing great feedback to us, sometimes on daily basis. And we are lucky that we get in contact with these guys and we listen to them, and they generate really great ideas which are helping us to improve a solution and to see how this is adapted in their teams, small or bigger ones. And yeah, it opens a perspective how to cover not only, let's say, middle-sized teams, but how to go to bigger-sized teams. And also what we identified that more channels to contact us we provide is better. At first, there was only a link to send email to us on the website, and it was not enough. People could not find that. And we, over the time, introduced more channels, like you can send feature request in community, you can submit a ticket also from website or from within application. We put a small question mark on every page of our application, and we see that people are clicking that. I don't have actual statistics, but at least 5 clicks per day we have on this button, and it's a lot for us, because before these people didn't click and they just missing support. And also we have a culture that our engineers can do, and they participate in support, and they talk to end users, they listen to them, and they bring all these ideas from customers to the team, and we discuss all together all these ideas coming through from customers, through engineers, and we put these ideas in the backlog, and finally we deliver them. And also some lessons learned that once we opened API reporting API for our customers, and this is a lesson which we learned. We opened API, and couple of times we changed API without versioning, and we got so angry responses on that since then, we will never make any change in API without versioning. So this is small lesson learned about opening API. And what's next for us is that we are looking for partners to get our support and distribution of our extension in own languages of our customers, and do on-premise trainings and support for our customers. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Thank you, Joe, again.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, so I appreciated that, everybody. Thank you, Maxim. Yeah, I'm glad he was able to come up here and do that. I think the biggest part that I've seen, especially with everything that they do, is really the support piece. It ties back into the trust. The more you can make yourself available and give your customers channels to get in contact with you and ask questions, we are seeing it's critically important. Because, like I said earlier, like the people who are using our product are using Time Tracker too, and there's probably a reason for that. So thank you for doing that.